Today on the channel, it's dangerously close to St. Patrick's Day, so it's time for a St. Patrick's Day top 5. In today's video, we're counting down my top 5 Hornswoggle figures of all time.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on this very YouTube channel. As every single Thursday, we're counting down my top 5 and occasionally top 10 favorites of something. And today, St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. It's time to do a St. Patrick's Day themed top 5, and there's a couple of characters that you could dive into with that. But I wanted to go with this one. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Swoggle, aka Hornswoggle, the leprechaun with the heart of gold. And he even was Leprechaun in the Leprechaun movie Once Upon a Time as well. But we're counting down my top 5 Swoggle figures here on this very countdown. And what can you say about Hornswoggle? Possibly the greatest little person wrestler of all time? Maybe? I don't know. I guess somebody's going to say, oh, Sky Low Low and some of that kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody has propelled the industry quite like Hornswoggle over the years, especially with name recognition and familiarity, movies, things like that. So gonna go down as a future Hall of Famer, there's no doubt about it. So, and a nice guy too, of course, the mayor of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Shout out to Swoggle once again. But of course, we're gonna do this top 5 like we do all the other top 5s on the channel. We're gonna start at number 5, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my absolute favorite Hornswoggle figure of all time. And as I always say, I always have to say it, this is my list, so it's 100% right. But guess what? Your list can be 100% right as well. Put it in the comments, put them in order. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. But without further ado, let's get after it. Let's count down the top 5 Swoggle figures of all time. All right, we begin the countdown, of course, at number 5. And number 5, we go to Mattel. We go way in the infancy of the Mattel line. We go to their old school battle packs for Greatest Rivals 2-pack. This one paired up with one Chavo Guerrero. It is Hornswoggle, obviously, but it is a basic figure here. And of course, we all remember that hot blood feud between Chavo Guerrero and Hornswoggle. Quite the matches, quite the feud. If you do remember that way back, gosh, 15, 16 years ago. What is time once again? But very cool Swoggle figure and a little bit different than the rest of the Mattel Swoggle figures here, as he just has the long puffy shirt, the Jerry Seinfeld puffy shirt right here. I think he did get this from Jerry Seinfeld. I'll have to ask him, maybe fact check that down the line. Of course, you get a removable hat on this one here. A very, very good, respectable Swoggle representing the feud. I'm here for it. Always enjoyed this one. It comes in at number 5. We continue the countdown at number 4. And number 4, we're seeing a theme here. We go back to, of course, the basic era with Mattel. Yes, another Mattel Swoggle figure here. This one we go, and I'm going to call this the best of 2010. And this is a figure that was released a few times, and we've seen that as a theme throughout Swoggle's career, as a lot of his figures have had reuse and re-releases in different toy lines, especially back in the Jakks days. But we got it this time here from Mattel. And I think when a lot of people do close their eyes and they think of Hornswoggle, a lot of people come up with this. Of course, the leprechaun under the ring, Finley's sidekick, whatever you want to call it. But it does look really good. Love the Fist of Fury right there. You got the little H on the St. Patrick's Day clothing relief looking good. The removable hat once again. You got the big dark beard going on against the blonde hair. And then you got kind of that dirt all over his face. And a lot of people remember that. I'm not a huge fan of the dirt on the face, but he was dirty at the time. He needed a shower, apparently, but looking good. He's got the old 3-piece suit on, looking good. You got the tails on the back end like a penguin. Just a very good, respectable Swoggle figure of a moment in time. Of course, you can see him with Finley around this time for sure, but looking good. Best of 2010, we'll call it, coming in at number 4. We've hit the halfway point in the countdown. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below, and of course, don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got videos every single day, and we're dangerously close to 50,000 subscribers. Need your help. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And if we do hit 50,000 by the time I film our 5-year anniversary video, I'll give 5 things away. If not, we'll still give 1 thing away, but possibly 5. We'll see what happens. Can we get another 500 subscribers here in the next couple of weeks? We'll see what happens. Only you can tell. Only you can tell. So there it is. But now we're at number 3. And this time, we're going to the Ruthless Aggression line. We're going all the way back to Ruthless Aggression Series 35 for, of course, Swoggle. This is the first Jakks representation on the countdown, and Jakks the first ones to do mini figures like this, of course, of Swoggle. Very cool. And of course, with Jakks, they got to get the most out of their molds. They re-released this in 1,000 different lineups, of course. In the 2-packs, the Adrenaline 2-packs, we got the Treasures Trio 3-packs, Off the Ropes editions, box set editions, Ruthless Aggression, Ring Rage, you name it, they re-released this figure many times. But we also got many different Swoggles as well. So Jakks always doing a lot of stuff. It was definitely a different time, but it was a very enjoyable time if you're an action figure collector. But always a fun Swoggle figure, and this is one of those ones, maybe you couldn't get the Mattels. As of right now, most of his figures are out of print, a little harder to find. Maybe the Jakks one's a little easier to find, and you can smoke and mirrors these in with your Mattel figures if you really needed to. But Swoggle, Jakks, Ruthless Aggression, coming in, number 3. We're starting to separate the men from the boys in this one here. We're down to the final 2 Swoggle figures of all time. This is one of my favorite Swoggle figures, obviously coming in at number 2. This is one I think a lot of people do prefer, and this one is getting a re-release here in 2025. What are we talking about it? Well, we're talking about Elite Series 7 DX Hornswoggle. Now, this is being re-released. It is up for pre-order over there on Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%, of course. We is coming to the vault, and now that Swoggle has signed a Legends deal, have to imagine we'll get some more Swoggle figures in the future. Should be fun to see what we can get over the next year or two for Swoggle figures. But this will be released from the vault, so if you don't have this in your collection, you got a cheaper option right now. So I'm going to just say they're both the same figure. We're just going to lump those two together, either or, because they're basically going to be the same figure. And of course, we'll review that one and compare it to this one in a future video, so stay tuned for that as well. But absolutely love this one. Of course, him as the DX mascot. And it's funny, is my first ever room tour video of my collection, there was so much hate in that video. Yes, hate, can you believe it? But there was a lot of people calling me out saying, how dare you have Swoggle on the DX shelf? People that were offended and thumbs downing the video and things. I'm like, man, does anybody really care that much? He's in the DX garb. I figured it'd look good in the DX shelf. It's no big deal to me, but apparently set some people off. I can't believe it. Some people get worked up about anything, I guess, at the end of the day. But I always liked this one. It came with the mini ladder. You get the soft goods shirt. You get the battle helmet. You get the DX garb. A fun one, and I like that there's a lot of meat on the bone with this one, as it is a smaller figure. You're not getting as much plastic, so they made that up for us with some cool accessories to go with it. And like I keep saying, it is coming back out, so another opportunity to get that if you have not. So a fun figure here, the new From the Vault release, or Elite Series 7 Swoggle. But now there can only be one. What is my favorite Swoggle figure of all time? Well, stay tuned. All right, we've hit the number 1 spot, the number 1 Hornswoggle figure of all time. Once again, reminding you, put your list in the comments down below. Put them in order. That's the hard part. That is the fun part. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this very YouTube channel. But here we are at number 1. Yes, the number 1 Swoggle figure of all time in representation of St. Patrick's Day just around the corner here. But my number 1 has to be on everybody's top 5 list, and it is the most different Swoggle figure we have ever received. Out of all the Swoggle figures, this one stands out because of how different it is. And what are we talking about? Well, we're going to Mattel once again. We're going to the Battle Pack 2-pack with one El Torito. It is, of course, 3-man band edition Hornswoggle. How cool is this one right here? Now, most Hornswoggle figures we got were Leprechaun editions, is what we'll call them. This one is his brief stint with the 3-man band. We'll never forget that match. I forget what pay-per-view that was. Was it Extreme Rule? Maybe not. I don't know. But it was a pay-per-view, and they did kick it off there with a little pre-show with him versus El Torito in a WLC match. I can barely get that out, but a WLC match. And I got to say, an amazing match, a very fun match, and a lot more physical. Yes, there was a little bit of comedy, but not as much as you would think in that match. So very cool to see that one done. I love the mini announcers. That was kind of the funniest part of that one there. But we did get a table with this one. We also got a small steel chair. A lot of fun accessories here, but a very cool one because it is so different after all. You got the tattoos showing off on the figure. Definitely is Swoggle in the head sculpt department. And I love the removable hair on this one. How funny is this? How cool is this? This figure does confuse a lot of collectors and a lot of people out there because people will buy this bald. People will buy it with the hair and they think they're separate figures. A lot of people don't realize the hair comes off if need be. So very, very cool. I am hoping we get an updated version of this in the future. I would love to see this one redone again, just because I would kind of like to have a second one in my collection. maybe with the vest on, and maybe one with hair, one without hair. This could be another future vault release, possibly. Who knows? But a very cool looking figure. The tattoos really bring it to life. The head sculpt is great. The hairpiece is cool. The accessories are cool. El Torito with it is cool. Just an all-timer and possibly one of the best battle packs of all time. Maybe one day we'll count down our top 5 or top 10 Mattel 2-packs. Have to imagine this would be on the list for me. It's just fun, it's different, and that's what I like out of the battle packs for sure. But Swoggle, this one, main event with El Torito, coming in at number 1 in my top 5 list. Once again, put your list in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out the Patreon for early access to all the videos from both YouTube channels and your best way to support the channel. Check out my new Tik Tok channel for all my sick dance moves. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram as well. So for top 5 Hornswoggle figures of all time, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.